Hi guys, in this video I will show you how to check your Prusa i3 for the most common build mistakes. So you just finished building the printer and I will show you what to do next. First thing you need to check on freshly assembled printer is proper connection of hot end and heated bed. It is pretty easy to check just by looking at the display of a printer. If the temperature is around 30 degrees Celsius, everything is alright. If the temperature on the display is 10 degrees Celsius or you can see min temp error, it means that the thermistor is not connected or the cable is damaged. If the temperature is over 350 degrees Celsius or you can see max temp error, that means that the thermistor cables are shorted. As the next thing we will test on our printer is nozzle cooling fan. It's pretty easy, just go to the LCD menu, preheat and PLA. When the nozzle reaches 50 degrees Celsius, the fan will start spinning. Testing second fan is pretty easy too. We just go to the menu, settings, temperature, fan speed and set value over 100. The fan will start spinning immediately. This fan will start automatically for printing some materials. Please, once again, check the tightening of the cable connector from the heat bed. Poorly tightened connector can melt. A shape distortion of the object in the X or Y axis may be caused by insufficient belt tension. The resulting delay is most apparent during a directional change of the shifting head, where the head does not respond immediately. Check out our assembly guide on how to properly tighten the belts. If the layer seems to be off or misaligned, then the pulleys on the X or Y axis are probably not sufficiently secured. Insufficiently tightened pulleys may be slipping on the motor shaft. Pulleys can be easily tightened using two screws. The first of them must be tightened against the flat pad on the shaft. If you are unable to properly calibrate the printer because of the distance between the nozzle and the heat bed is different in the middle and on the edges, Y-axis is probably slightly twisted. One of the corners is probably visibly floating a little in the air. The solution lies in underlying two adjacent corners and slight downward push on the other corners. Unreadable LCD and poor SD card loading is due to bad cable management. The cables should be properly led among the threaded rods and attached to the M10 rod by zip ties, just not too tight. Then they should be led under the frame and connected to the Rambo board. Inside the electronics enclosure, the cable should not be led through any other bunch of cables, but along the walls of the printed Rambo covers. If you are unable to correctly load the filament, check if the roughened part of the pulley is properly aligned with the nozzle entrance. The screw should be tightened against the flat pad on the shaft. If you plug in the printer and after switching it on, it doesn't show any signs of readiness, LCD does not light up and neither does LED, you probably plugged in the electronics incorrectly and it caused a blown fuse. Check whether the connection of the extruder and the heated bed isn't swapped. Burnt out fuses can be easily replaced with common car fuses. Also, no thermistor can be plugged in the fan output or it will be destroyed. The rods are cut precisely and none of them should overlap. If you mix up the long Y-axis rods with the shorter Z-axis rods, you will artificially reduce printing area in Y-axis. This may also affect the function of filament changing during the multicolor printing. There cannot be any gap inside the green tube placed between the motor shaft and the threaded rod for Z-axis. If the motors are not shut down during the auto-home operation and they are apparently skipping, it means that the zip tie used for attachment of the end-stop switches is not sufficiently tightened. Alternatively, the switches can be in the wrong position. Check their position and tighten the zip ties. You can also additionally fix it with second zip tie. If the distance of the nozzle and the bed changes between individual calibrations, it means that the Z end-stop switch is not attached properly. Just tighten the screws. If the heated bed has backlash, it is caused by poorly tightened zip ties around bearings. This may severely affect the print quality. We went just over the most common mistakes in this video. The whole assembly is described in detail in our manual. I wish you many hours of happy printing and awesome results!